They offered to defend Earth. Until humans asked from whom, the sky above Earth changed color when the ship arrived. Luna Silvermoon stood on the bridge of her crystal vessel and looked down at the blue planet. Her pointed ears moved slightly as she listened to the sounds of her ship. The vessel was beautiful and strange, like frozen starlight floating in space. Beside her stood Shadowfang, her dragon companion. His scales were black as night, and his eyes glowed with ancient wisdom. He was large, enough to carry 3 grown humans on his back. His wings folded against his body as he watched Earth through the viewing screen. Luna had done this many times before. She and her people called themselves the Stellar Guard. They traveled from world to world, offering protection to younger races. It was always the same story. They would arrive and show their power. The people of the planet would be grateful and accept their protection. Then the Guard would stay and watch over them. 3,000 years Luna had been doing this work. 3,000 years of saving primitive worlds from dangers they did not even know existed. She adjusted her silver armor and prepared for another successful mission. On Earth below, Captain Kate Morrison stood in a large room full of important people. The United Nations had called an emergency meeting when the alien ship appeared. Everyone was talking at once, but Kate stayed quiet. She had been in the Space Force for 20 years, and she knew how to stay calm in strange situations. Lieutenant Amy Chen ran into the room with a tablet in her hand. "Captain Morrison, we are receiving signals from the ship. They are using all our communication channels, and Captain, they included a translation program. They want to talk to us." Kate looked at the young lieutenant and nodded. "Show me the large screen." In the room lit up with alien symbols that slowly changed into English words. Then a voice filled the room. It was beautiful like music, but also strange and not quite human. "Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Luna, Silvermoon of the Stellar Guard. We come in peace to offer our protection against the darkness that threatens your world. We ask only for your trust and cooperation." General Rita Hawkins stood next to Kate and crossed her arms. Protection from what exactly? Kate had the same thought, but she kept it to herself. For now, they needed more information. Luna watched the Earth through her ship's sensors. She could see their primitive satellites and space stations. They had barely begun to explore their own solar system. They were exactly the kind of world the Guard was meant to protect. Shadowfang moved closer to her, and she felt his thoughts in her mind. "They seem peaceful," he said through their mental connection. "They have weapons, but nothing that could hurt us. That is why we must protect them." Luna replied, "They do not know what waits in the dark between stars." The dragon made a low rumbling sound in his throat that might have been agreement or doubt. Luna had known Shadowfang for 500 years, and sometimes she still could not read him completely. On Earth, the leaders were arguing. Some wanted to attack the alien ship. Others wanted to welcome them as friends. Kate listened to all of them but said nothing. She was thinking about the aliens' words. Protection against the darkness. What darkness? Dr. Lisa Park, the head scientist for Earth Space Program, pulled Kate aside. "Captain, I have been analyzing their ship. Its technology is beyond anything we have ever seen. But there is something strange about it." "What do you mean?" Kate asked. "The design, the materials, everything about it suggests they have been using the same technology for a very long time. Thousands of years, maybe longer. Most civilizations change and improve their technology. This one seems frozen in time." Kate filed that information away in her mind. "Thank you, Doctor. Keep studying everything you can." Luna received permission from Earth to land her shuttle. She chose a location in the Nevada desert, far from any cities. Shadowfang would come with her. He always did. The dragon was not just her companion, but her protector, even though she was one of the greatest warriors of her people. As their shuttle descended, Luna thought about what she would say to the humans. She had given this speech so many times she could say it while sleeping, but each world was different, and she had learned to adjust her approach. Some worlds were ruled by fear, and she had to show strength. Others valued knowledge, and she shared glimpses of galactic history. Earth seemed different somehow, but she could not yet say how. the human delegation waited in the desert. Kate Morrison stood at the front with General Hawkins beside her. Behind them were soldiers, scientists, and diplomats. The shuttle was beautiful like everything else about the aliens. It landed without sound and without kicking up dust. Luna emerged first. Her silver hair flowed in the desert wind and her violet eyes seemed to glow in the sunlight. She moved with perfect grace, each step calculated and smooth. Shadowfang followed, his great head higher than the tallest human. His wings were folded, but everyone could see how massive they would be when spread. "Welcome to Earth," Captain Kate Morrison said, stepping forward. "I hope we can speak as friends." Luna smiled, showing perfect white teeth. "Friends, yes, that is what we offer. Friendship and protection." Kate noticed that the alien had not actually agreed they were friends, yet just that friendship was offered. But she kept that observation to herself. Protection from whom exactly? Luna had expected fear or awe. But this human seemed merely curious. Interesting from the dangers that lurk between stars, pirates, conquerors, devourers of worlds. "You are fortunate we found you first." Kate exchanged a quick glance with General Hawkins, then looked back at Luna. "Can you tell us more about these dangers? Have you fought them before?" "Of course," Luna said, though something in the human's tone bothered her. "We have protected hundreds of worlds, each one safe under our watch." The dragon Shadowfang lowered his great head to look at the humans more closely. Several of them stepped back, but Kate Morrison held her ground. The dragon seemed amused by this. His mental voice suddenly filled every human mind. "Do not fear, little ones. We bring only safety." The humans reacted with shock to the telepathic communication, but Kate recovered quickly. "That is an impressive ability. How many of your kind have it?" "All dragons share the mental gift," Shadowfang replied. "But we choose when to use it." Luna felt the conversation moving in directions she had not expected. These humans asked questions instead of cowering. They analyzed instead of accepting. She would need to adjust her approach. "Let me show you why you need our protection," Luna said. She gestured to the sky, and her fleet began to reveal itself. Hundreds of ships appeared as if from nowhere. They had been cloaked in orbit around Earth. Each one was larger than any human vessel and armed with weapons beyond human understanding. "This is the power of the Stellar Guard," Luna announced. "With us watching over you, no enemy would dare approach." Earth Kate studied the ships with the soldiers. I then looked back at Luna, impressive, but I notice you still have not named these enemies specifically. Who exactly are we being protected from? Luna felt a small seed of worry plant itself in her mind. No species had ever pushed this hard for details on their first meeting, but she kept her expression calm and answered, "The universe is vast, Captain Morrison. Threats can come from anywhere." "That sounds very vague for someone offering specific protection," Kate said. "And if these threats are so dangerous, why have we never detected any signs of them?" The meeting continued, but Luna could not shake the feeling that something was different about these humans. They were not following the pattern, and patterns had kept the Stellar Guard in power for thousands of years. As the sun set over the desert, both sides returned to their bases, Luna and Shadowfang to their ship, the humans to their bunkers. Both groups had much to think about. The first meeting was over, but the real negotiations were just beginning. The next morning, Luna prepared for the demonstration that would surely convince the humans every species needed to see the power of the Stellar Guard to truly understand why they needed protection. She had done this hundreds of times before. Shadowfang stretched his wings in the cargo bay of their ship. The space was massive, but he still filled most of it. "You are troubled," he said to Luna through their mental link. "These humans are different," Luna admitted. "They ask questions that others do not ask. They look for answers instead of accepting our words. Perhaps that is not a bad thing." The dragon suggested. Luna did not answer. She had been trained since birth to follow the traditions of the guard. Change was not part of their way in the human command. Center Kate Morrison met with her team. They had worked through the night analyzing everything they knew about the aliens. "Look at this," Amy Chen said, pointing to her screen. I have been tracking deep space signals for the past 10 years. We have detected nothing. No alien communications, no ship signatures, nothing except empty space until yesterday. Dr. Lisa Park added her own findings. The aliens' biology is fascinating. They look humanoid but with clear differences. The pointed ears, the enhanced physical abilities, the extended lifespan. But look at this. She pulled up a scan. Their bone density and muscle structure suggest they evolved on a planet with gravity very similar to Earth, so they are not from some low-gravity space station. Kate said, "No." Lisa confirmed. They come from a world much like ours, which raises the question, why do they live in space? Now, General Rita Hawkins had been studying the military aspects. Their technology is impressive. But there is something odd about their fleet formations. They are arranged for show, not for battle. If they were really protecting against threats, they would use different positions. Kate nodded at each piece of information. Keep digging. I want to know everything we can learn before the next meeting. Luna descended to Earth again, this time with a larger escort. 20 of her warriors accompanied her along with Shadowfang and 3 other dragons. The meeting place was the same desert location, but now there were more humans present, including media, representatives, people of Earth. Luna began, her voice amplified so all could hear. You have asked about the threats we protect against. Let me show you our power, and you will understand why you need us. She raised her hand and the sky changed. Her ships began a complex dance above them. Weapons fired in controlled bursts, creating a light show that painted the clouds in impossible colors. The dragons took flight, breathing streams of plasma that twisted through the air like living art. The humans watched and recorded everything. Some seemed impressed, others fearful. But Kate Morrison just watched with calculating eyes. Luna landed gracefully near the human delegation. Surely now you understand. Our technology is beyond your current abilities. The threats we guard against would destroy you in moments, but under our protection you will be safe. That was an impressive display, Kate said. But you still have not shown us any actual threats, just your own weapons. Can you provide any evidence of these dangers you speak of? Luna felt frustration building inside her. Most species were convinced by now. They understood that such power could only exist to fight equally powerful enemies. But these humans kept pushing. Captain Morrison, Luna said, trying a different approach. In your history, have not the strong always protected the weak? Is that not the natural order? Actually, Kate replied, our history shows that the strong usually exploit the weak. Protection always comes with a price. So what? Is yours? The price is simple. Luna said, we ask only for cooperation and trust. Your world continues as before, but with our ships watching over you. And if we say no? General Hawkins asked. Luna had not expected such a direct question. No one says no to the guard, she said carefully. That sounds less like protection and more like occupation, the general observed. The tension in the desert grew thick. Luna's warriors shifted slightly, their hands moving closer to their weapons. The dragons above circled. Lower Shadowfang moved to stand beside Luna. His massive form a clear warning. Kate stepped forward, breaking the tension. We need time to consider your offer. Surely you can understand that. This is a big decision for our entire planet. Luna forced herself to relax. Of course, take the time you need. We will remain in orbit as. The aliens returned to their shuttles. Kate noticed something. One of Luna's warriors whispered urgently to her, and Luna looked troubled. For just a moment, the perfect mask slipped back. On her ship, Luna received an encrypted message from the High Council of the Guard. Their response to her report was not pleased. The humans show resistance. The message said, this is unexpected, but not unprecedented. Begin preparation for Protocol 7. If they do not accept within 7 rotations. Luna stared at the message. Protocol 7 meant creating a threat. A false attack that would frighten the humans into accepting protection. She had used it before, though she never enjoyed it. What troubles you? Shadowfang asked. He had been her companion long enough to read her moods. The council grows impatient. Luna said, "They want results. And if the humans continue to refuse, then we follow protocol," Luna said. But her voice lacked conviction. Earthkate and her team worked frantically. They had 7 days according to intercepted communications, though they did not know what would happen then. "I found something," Amy said excitedly. "Remember how I said we detected no alien signals before? Yesterday, that is not entirely true. Look at this." She showed a graph with dozens of points marked. "Each one is a star system where we detected signals similar to the guard fleet, but only briefly. Then nothing. They disappear," Kate said, "or they are silenced." Amy suggested. "Every single system that showed these signals went dark within a year. No more radio waves, no more signs of civilization. Nothing." Dr. Park had made her own discovery. "I have been analyzing their speech patterns and technology. The translation matrix they use, it has markers from hundreds of different languages. Not similar languages, completely different ones. As if they have absorbed many different cultures." Kate finished. General Hawkins looked grim. "If they really are protectors, where are all the civilizations they protected? That is the question we need answered," Kate said. "And we have 6 days left to find out." Luna stood on her observation deck looking down at Earth Shadowfang coiled around her in a gesture of comfort. She had done this so many times before, convinced so many worlds to accept the guard's protection. But doubt crept into her mind like a poison. What if the humans were right to ask questions? What if the protection the guard offered was not what it seemed? She told herself. The guard had kept peace for millennia. They knew what was best. The humans would accept in time. They always did. But as she watched the blue planet turn below her, Luna could not shake the feeling that this time would be different. These humans, with their questions and their courage, might be the first to truly see through the guard's ancient deception. The countdown continued. 6 days remained. The future of 2 civilizations hung in the balance, though only one of them knew the true stakes of the game being played. Luna paced in her quarters aboard the mothership. The human questions echoed in her mind like an alarm she could not silence. Shadowfang watched her from his resting place, his ancient eyes following her movement. "You have not slept in 2 days," he observed. "How can I sleep?" Luna replied. The council expects results. The humans resist. Every day they ask more questions, probe deeper. I have never seen anything like it. Perhaps that is because you have never met a species ready to stand alone. Shadowfang suggested. Luna stopped pacing and stared at her companion. "What do you mean?" The dragon shifted his great bulk. "I have lived for 3,000 years. I have seen the guard protect hundreds of worlds. But I have also seen what happens to those worlds. They stop growing. They stop questioning. They become dependent." "That is the point," Luna said, but her voice lacked strength. "We protect them from destruction." "Do we?" Shadowfang asked. "Or do we protect them from becoming strong enough to not need us below?" On Earth, Kate Morrison called together the brightest minds humanity had to offer. Scientists, military strategists, historians, psychologists, and even philosophers. They had 4 days left. "We need to understand their psychology," Kate began. "Why do they need everyone to accept their protection? What happens to those who refuse?" Dr. Lisa Park shared her latest findings. "I have been studying their biological readings more closely. The elves, as we have been calling them, show signs of extreme genetic modification. Their lifespan, their abilities, none of it is natural. Someone or something changed them, and the dragons," Amy Chen added. "From what we can tell, they are not native to the same world as the elves. The biological markers are completely different, yet they work together perfectly. Too perfectly. Like they are bonded somehow." Kate mused. A historian named Professor Nancy Hughes raised her hand. "This pattern of protection. It reminds me of historical protection rackets. The mob would offer protection to businesses, but the only threat was from the mob itself." General Hawkins nodded. "I have been thinking the same thing. They show up right when civilizations reach a certain level. Advanced enough to be interesting, but not advanced enough to defend themselves." Kate felt the pieces falling into place. "We need proof." If we are right, then somewhere out there are civilizations that said no and survived, or they were destroyed. Amy finished. Luna received another message from the High Council. This one came with the seal of the first commander himself. She had never received a direct communication from someone so high in the hierarchy. Guard Commander Silvermoon, the message began. Your reports concern us. The humans display unusual resistance. Begin Protocol 7 immediately. We cannot allow their defiance to spread. Luna read the message 3 times. Each time the words seemed heavier. Protocol 7 meant creating fear. It meant betraying the trust she had tried to build. She thought of Captain Morrison with her steady eyes and sharp questions. The human had shown no fear, only curiosity. It seemed wrong to repay that with deception. What does the council say? Shadowfang asked. They want me to begin the false attack protocol. Luna said, and will you? Luna did not answer because she did not know. Kate stood before the World Council, humanity's hastily assembled governing body for this crisis. Representatives from every nation were present, either in person or through secure communication. Based on our analysis, Kate reported, we believe the Stellar Guard operates as a cosmic protection racket. They arrive at worlds just reaching spaceflight capability. They offer protection, create dependency, and then harvest resources. What kind of resources? Asked the representative from Japan. Not physical resources, Kate explained. Cultural ones. Technological innovations. Art, music, scientific discoveries. They absorb civilizations into their collective and feed on their creativity. The representative from Brazil leaned forward. Do you have proof of this theory? We have circumstantial evidence, Kate admitted. But we need more. We need to know what happened to civilizations that refused them. Then we must refuse, the President of the United States said. If only to see their true nature. The room erupted in debate. Some argued for accepting the protection to buy time. Others wanted to attack. First, Kate let them argue while she thought Luna prepared for Protocol 7, but her heart was not in it. She selected the location for the false attack and chose which ships would participate. Everything was ready. But she hesitated. In 3,000 years, she had never questioned her orders. The Guard protected the galaxy from chaos. That was their purpose. Meaning their truth. But what if it was a lie? Shadowfang sensed her turmoil. You are thinking dangerous thoughts. I am thinking necessary thoughts. Luna corrected. I am thinking about those humans down there asking their questions, seeking their truths, and I am wondering if they are braver than I am. The dragon moved closer, his warmth comforting. What will you do? I do not know, Luna admitted. But I cannot start this attack without understanding why. Perhaps it is time. I asked some questions of my own. She opened a secure channel to the historical archives of the Guard files she had never accessed before, records that were restricted to only the highest levels. What she found changed everything. Kate received an unexpected message. It came directly to her personal device, bypassing all official channels. The signature showed it was from Luna. Silvermoon, Captain Morrison. I must speak with you alone, away from your people and mine. There are things you need to know. Things I have just learned myself. Kate stared at the message. It could be a trap. But something in the wording suggested genuine urgency. She made her decision. 2 hours later, Kate stood alone in the desert at midnight. Above her, a small shuttle descended. Luna emerged alone without her. Warriors without even Shadowfang. You came, Luna said, sounding surprised. You said it was important, Kate replied. So talk. Luna struggled with where to begin. I accessed restricted files. Our history. The real history. The Guard did not begin as protectors. We began as conquerors. Kate waited, letting the alien find her words. 3,000 years ago, my people were like yours. Luna continued. Curious, questioning, advancing quickly. Too quickly. We attracted attention. A race called the Devourers. Came they. Consumed entire civilizations, absorbed their knowledge, their culture, everything. So you fought them. Kate guessed. No, Luna said bitterly. We joined them, we made a deal. Our survival in exchange for helping them harvest other worlds. We became their shepherds, gathering civilizations for them to consume. Kate felt cold despite the desert heat. And now we continue the pattern. But we tell ourselves we are protectors. The devourers are gone, destroyed by their own greed. But we keep collecting civilizations, adding them to our collective feeding on their innovations while keeping them dependent. Why are you telling me this? Kate asked. Because you asked the right question. Luna said, From whom are we protecting you? The answer is from yourselves. From becoming strong enough to challenge the system we have built. Kate studied the alien in the moonlight. And what happens if we refuse? I am supposed to create a false attack. Luna admitted. Make you afraid enough to accept our protection. But I will not do it. Why? Not Luna looked up at the stars. Because for the first time in 3,000 years I have met a species that made me question everything. And questions, Captain Morrison, are more powerful than any weapon. The two women stood in the desert sharing. A moment of understanding. The guard and the guarded, the protector and the protected. Both seeing the truth at last. 4 days remained, but everything had already changed. Luna returned to her ship, knowing she had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. Shadowfang waited for her, his mental presence full of concern and curiosity. You told them, he said. It was not a question. I told their leader, Luna confirmed. Some of it, not everything, but enough. The dragon lowered his massive head to look her in the eyes. And what now? Now, Luna said, I must decide whether to follow orders or follow my conscience. On Earth. Kate Morrison faced her own difficult choice. Should she trust the alien who claimed to have had a change of heart? Or was this another layer of deception? She gathered her core team in a secure room and shared what Luna had told her. The reactions were mixed. It could be a trick, Amy said. They want us to lower our guard, or it could be the truth, Dr. Park countered. The psychological profile I built of Luna suggests someone struggling with internal conflict. This confession fits that pattern. General Hawkins was more direct. Even if she is telling the truth, one alien with doubts does not stop an entire fleet. We need a plan, Kate agreed. We proceed as if the threat is real, but we use this new information. Find everything you can about these devourers. Luna mentioned, if the guard overthrew them once, maybe we can find their weakness. Luna received summons to appear before the Fleet Council. Her fellow commanders wanted answers about her lack of progress with Earth. She stood before them in the great chamber of the command ship, trying to project confidence she did not feel. Commander Silvermoon spoke, Admiral Zenthar, his golden armor gleaming. The humans continue to resist. You have not begun Protocol 7. Why? Luna chose her words carefully. The humans are more complex than previous species. They require a different approach, different commander. Lyra asked, her green eyes suspicious. They are primitives, like all the others. What makes them special? Their questions, Luna said simply. They do not accept easy answers. They investigate, they analyze. They think. Admiral Zenthar frowned. And you believe this makes them dangerous? No, Luna said. I believe it makes them valuable. If we force them into submission, we lose what makes them unique. Their questioning nature could benefit the collective or destroy it. Commander Lyra snapped. Order comes from acceptance, not questions. The debate continued, but Luna sensed the decision had already been made. They would implement Protocol 7 with or without her. Shadowfang was waiting when she returned to her quarters. They mean to proceed. Yes, Luna said. The false attack will begin tomorrow. They will use my ships, my warriors. Everything I have built, and what will you do? Luna looked at her oldest friend. For 3,000 years I have followed orders. I have been the perfect guard commander. But these humans, they have shown me another way. The way of questions, Shadowfang said with what might have been approval. Meanwhile, Kate and her team made a breakthrough. Amy had been analyzing the historical data. Luna provided cross-referencing it with astronomical observations. Look at this, she said excitedly. These star systems where civilizations vanished, they form a pattern, an expanding sphere starting from a single point. The origin of the Devourers, Dr. Park said, but more importantly, Amy continued the expansion stopped about 800 years ago. Right when Luna said the guard overthrew them. So what stopped them? Kate asked. General Hawkins studied the data. Unity, the records Luna gave us, suggest. The captured civilizations found a way to work together. They turned the Devourers system against itself. Kate felt hope stirring. If they did it once, we can do it again. Amy finished. But first they had to survive the next day. Luna made her choice in the quiet hours before dawn. She could not stop Protocol 7, but she could warn Earth. She sent another message to Kate detailing exactly when and how the false attack would come. Kate received the warning with 3 hours to spare. She immediately convened an emergency session. They are going to fake an attack from an unknown enemy. Kate explained plasma weapons in the upper atmosphere, holographic ships, environmental damage that looks severe but heals quickly, all designed to terrify us into accepting protection. What do we do? The president asked. We play along, Kate said, but we also prepare our real response. Luna watched from her ship as Protocol 7 began. Right on schedule, unknown vessels appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. They broadcast threatening messages in an alien language. The guard fleet moved to intercept on Earth. People watched their screens in fear as the battle began. Plasma fire lit up the sky. Guard ships heroically placed themselves between Earth and the attackers, but in secure bunkers around the world. Earth's real leaders watched with different eyes. They saw through the illusion thanks to Luna's warning. They prepared their response. The fake battle reached its climax. A massive enemy ship broke through the guard lines and headed straight for Earth. Cities evacuated. People fled in terror. Then something unexpected happened. Earth fired back, not with primitive rockets or nuclear weapons, but with something new. Weapons based on principles learned from studying the guard technology combined with human innovation. The holographic enemy ship flickered and vanished, disrupted by targeted electromagnetic pulses. The plasma fires in the atmosphere dissipated under bombardment from ground-based disruptors in space. The guard fleet froze. Their perfect deception unraveled before their eyes. Luna felt a strange mix of pride and fear as she watched the humans reveal their hidden strength. They had learned more than anyone realized. They had prepared, better than anyone expected. Admiral Zenthar appeared on her screen, furious. You knew you warned them. I gave them the truth, Luna said. Something we stopped doing long ago. This is treason. You will be arrested. Tried, condemned. Perhaps, Luna said. But first, look at what they are doing. On every communication channel, Earth broadcast the truth video of the fake attack with analysis showing how it was created, documentation of the guard's history, evidence of the protection racket that spanned millennia, but more than that, they broadcast a message to all civilizations under guard protection. Kate Morrison's voice reached across space. You have been told you need protection, but we are proof that you do not. The guard fears questions, because questions lead to truth. And the truth is, you are stronger than they want you to believe. Luna watched as her life 3,000 years of service crumbled around her. But in the ruins, she felt something new. Freedom Shadowfang appeared beside her, his mental presence warm. You do not regret this, no? Luna said, looking at Earth with its defiant light shining. For the first time, I did what was right, instead of what was ordered. And now we see what humanity does with the truth they fought so hard to find across. The galaxy on 1,000 protected worlds beings looked up at the stars and began to wonder, what questions had they been afraid to ask? What strength had they been told they did not have? The revolution had begun not with weapons, but with words, not with violence, but with truth. And it started because one small blue planet had dared to ask from whom. The command ship erupted in chaos as messages flooded in from across the galaxy. Protected worlds demanded answers. Guard commanders argued about responses. Luna stood calm in the center of the storm she had helped create, Admiral Zenthar pointed at her with rage in his eyes. Arrest the traitor. She has doomed us all. But before the guards could move, Shadowfang spread his massive wings. The other dragons in the fleet responded to his mental call. Their roars echoed through space itself. The dragons, stand with Luna. Shadowfang announced, his telepathic voice reaching every mind in the fleet. We have been slaves long enough. Commander Lyra stared in shock. The dragons were meant to be loyal. How was this possible? Because Luna asked them questions, Shadowfang replied. Questions we had forgotten we could ask. On Earth, Kate Morrison coordinated humanity's response. They had revealed the truth, but that was only the beginning. Now they had to survive the consequences. General Hawkins reported from the war room. Half the guard fleet is in disorder, but the other half is moving into attack position. Can we defend ourselves? Kate asked. Amy, Chen pulled up tactical displays. With what we have learned, maybe. But we need allies. As if in answer, a message came through from an unexpected source. Captain Morrison, this is Commander Luna Silvermoon. I offer my ships and my knowledge to Earth. Kate did not hesitate. We accept. The space above Earth became a battlefield, but not the one anyone expected. Guard. Ships fired on guard ships. Dragons chose sides. Some stood with Luna and freedom. Others remained bound by centuries of conditioning. Luna commanded from her bridge with Shadowfang at her side. For the first time in her long life, she fought for something. She truly believed in target the command ship's engines, not their weapons. Luna ordered. We want to disable, not destroy. But Admiral Zenthar had no such restraint. His loyal ships fired to kill. They saw Luna's rebellion as a disease that must be burned. Away on Earth, humans worked frantically to support their unexpected allies. Dr. Park led a team analyzing guard technology in real time, finding weaknesses and sharing them with Luna's forces. Their shields have a harmonic frequency, she announced. If we can match it, we can pass through. Amy Chen took that information and did something unexpected. She broadcast it, not just to Luna, but to every world in the guard network. The response was immediate. On 100 worlds, engineers and scientists began building weapons they had been told they were too primitive to understand. The High Council of the Guard watched their empire crumble from their ancient citadel. First Commander Aurelius had ruled for 5,000 years. He had seen the Devourers fall. Now he watched his own system collapse. How did this happen? He asked his advisors. Because we forgot. Counselor Thane replied. The Devourers fell because their subjects united against them. We became the Devourers without realizing it. What do we do? Thane looked at the tactical displays showing rebellion spreading like wildfire. We survive or we die, but the old ways are finished. Back at Earth, the battle reached a turning point. Admiral Zenthar's flagship moved to ram Luna's ship, a desperate attempt to end the rebellion by destroying its symbol. Kate saw it happening. Missile batteries target that flagship. Everything we have. But Luna had her own response. She opened a channel to Zenthar's crew. This is Commander Silvermoon. You have a choice. Follow orders and die, or join us and live. The Admiral's bridge crew looked at each other. They had served under fear for so long, but fear was no match for hope. One by one, they stepped away from their stations. Admiral Zenthar stood alone. You cannot do this, he screamed. This is mutiny. No, the navigation officer said. This is freedom. Zenthar's ship drifted powerless, its crew refusing to fight. Luna felt no satisfaction, only sadness for those too trapped by the past to see the future. The battle turned. Across the galaxy, more guard ships switched sides. More protected worlds declared independence. The careful order of 3 millennia dissolved in hours. But from the chaos came something new. Kate Morrison found herself speaking not just for Earth, but for free worlds everywhere. We propose an alliance. She broadcast not of protectors and protected, but of equals. We share knowledge freely. We defend each other by choice. We grow together. Luna added her voice. The Guard hoarded knowledge to maintain power. We offer it freely. Weapons, medicine, technology. Everything we kept from you. Shadowfang spoke last, his ancient voice carrying wisdom earned through suffering. The dragons remember what it means to be free. We will teach those who have forgotten. The High Council made one last attempt to restore order. They activated ancient weapons, doomsday devices meant to punish rebellious worlds, but they had not counted on human ingenuity or dragon memory. Dr. Park, working with dragon historians, found the shutdown codes. Amy Chen, with the help of freed guard technicians, hacked the control systems. General Hawkins, coordinating with rebel commanders, arranged simultaneous strikes. The weapons powered down. The threat ended. The High Council surrendered first. Commander Aurelius stood before the assembled representatives of free worlds. His golden armor was tarnished, his ageless face finally showing where, "You have won," he said to Kate and Luna. But what now? Chaos, violence, the strong preying on the weak. "That is what you gave us," Kate replied, disguised as protection. "We choose a harder path, building trust without force, creating unity without domination. It will fail." Aurelius insisted. "Someone will always seek power over others." "Maybe," Luna said, "but we have something you never allowed: questions. And people who ask questions can solve problems you never imagined." The transformation was not instant or easy. Worlds that had been dependent for centuries had to learn independence. Guard commanders had to become advisors, not rulers. Dragons had to remember how to be free, but they had help. Earth became a center of learning, sharing everything they had discovered. Protected worlds sent their best and brightest to learn and to teach. Luna stood with Kate on a hill overlooking the new academy they were building. Former enemies worked side by side. Guard technology merged with human creativity. Dragon wisdom combined with youthful enthusiasm. "Do you think it will last?" Kate asked. Luna considered the question. "Nothing lasts forever. But what we build here has something the old system never had." "What is that?" "Choice," Luna said. "Every world, every being choosing to be here. They can leave whenever they want. That makes it stronger than any empire built on fear." Shadowfang landed beside them, his scales gleaming in the sunlight. "The younglings are asking questions," he reported with amusement. "So many questions." "Good," Kate and Luna said together. As the sun set over a changed galaxy, three unlikely friends watched the sky. Stars that had been prison lights now promised adventure. Worlds that had been isolated now reached out to each other. And on a small blue planet that had dared to ask one simple question, children looked up and dreamed not of protectors, but of partners, not of safety, but of discovery. The universe was vast and full of dangers, but it was also full of wonders, and for the first time in 3,000 years, everyone was free to explore both, all because humanity had asked. From whom? And because one guard commander had finally wondered why the age of protection was over. The age of questions had begun.